Welcome to hooking up and tracking down. You know what? Honestly, this time it was not Stinkbait's fault.
No, hey.
I watched it happen. That was the blasted computer that did that to Stinkbait. God love it. Okay. Hooking up and tracking down. Brought to you by Bayou Outdoors Super Center, Mustang Survival, Daiwa Rods and Reels, and BioBore Fuel Treatment. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Hey, we're going to have one heck of a show for you today. We've got Bobby Cole.
Bobby Cole. This is Mike's guy.
Okay, now who is
we in trouble?
Bobby Cole is coming on the show, and I think we're all sitting around with bated breath waiting to find out who is Bobby Cole.
Bobby Cole is the president of Mossy Oak and Biologic Food Plots in Mississippi.
So he's somebody.
He is somebody, and he'll really be somebody after he's on our show.
Okay. We're fixing to teach
But he is also the author of a book. I read quite a bit, stuff. And I read a book this summer.
There's all that time in the bathroom, you know.
Does your book got pictures?
When I got back from Mexico, I was doing overtime in the bathroom.
He read Gone with the Wind, War and Peace, and Moby Dick all in 3 days.
Yeah.
His book consists of full-page photos, though.
Fold out. Okay. Anyway, Bobby Cole wrote a book called Dummy Line. Quit
fishing.
I gotta mess you up here. I gotta mess you up.
Like fishing line,
no,
or like
dummy line. And I want to find out what that is. There's a dummy line road everywhere in the world. You've heard of dummy line?
No, I've never heard of that.
Freaks.
Yeah, that's me.
Or dummy for.
Okay. Anyway, this book is called Dummy Line, and it's about a man who in Mississippi that took his daughter turkey hunting. Who went down to the hunting camp and was accosted by a bunch of illegal rednecks.
Oh, wow.
It is sort of like I say it's a modern-day Deliverance. But it is a very good book. I read the whole thing start to finish, didn't hardly let up on it.
Wow.
And he is the author. At the end of the book, it said, Bobby Cole, president of Mossy Oak Biologic, lives in Mississippi with his wife. And I realized why the book was so good and why I could relate to it, because it was a hunter, writing the book.
From his vantage point.
It was not far-fetched. Everything in it was to the point.
Yeah.
You need to read it.
Okay. Cool. Done deal. You got me sold.
Go to the bathroom.
Also going to have Johnny Geist on the show. I don't know if you guys saw Johnny's Facebook page.
I saw it.
He caught a toad yesterday.
I couldn't hear him. Was it 10 something?
No. It was almost 11 pounds. 1068.
Yeah.
Almost. Yeah. You know, my mom's going with him tomorrow. And just yesterday, he just found these new brush piles near 30 foot of water.
I'm going myself, taking my daughter, and 2 other Lady Demon basketball players. We're going the 21st and 22nd of this month.
Yeah.
So
I just realized why Graf moved my thing here.
Why?
It's in the way of the camera.
It was
blocking his camera shot.
The camera couldn't see him.
That's what it is.
You
God love him.
Got to
have the face on radio.
Got to have the face on radio.
Well, Johnny Guy's going to be on the show here in just a little bit. He'll give us all the latest from Lake Fork, and I'm telling you, he is ripping them right now. We've got the co-host, Shelly Sanders of Major League Bass Fishing coming on.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with her.
East Texas girl.
Where's she from? What part of East Texas?
She's from Longview.
Tyler.
Okay.
Longview. Okay.
Yeah, Longview. Her dad lives in Mount Pleasant.
Really?
Yeah.
You know her dad?
I know her dad, Ron Peterson. And I was like, you have got to be. We had a good conversation the day before yesterday, Shelly and I did. And it just connection after connection. I'm like, you're kidding me.
Yeah.
And she's old Mount Pleasant. She's from Mount Pleasant. Her dad lives in Mount Pleasant. Easy Step. He is the owner of Easy Step.
Oh, I know Easy Step.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be down.
He's the guy behind that.
Okay.
And he started, I believe, she'll correct me if I'm wrong.
Handicap lift for bass boats.
That's why I know about it.
Johnny has one on his boat. Remember we saw it on Johnny's boat?
Yeah.
Johnny has one. But anyway, he also, I think, she'll correct me if I'm wrong, I think he started the first bass club in East Texas.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a legendary guy in East Texas as far as bass fishing.
Okay.
So,
well, she's coming up on the show today.
Yeah.
Next week going to be big.
Pretty.
Yeah.
Also, Mark Davis, leading angler
that's right. I forgot about that. Mark Davis is going to be on the show today. I got a little bit carried away because I saw who's going to be on the show next week.
Yeah. Who?
Isn't it next week?
Who?
Our boy from Louisiana?
Greg Hackney.
Yeah, Hackney's Hack Attack.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, Hack Attack's coming on.
Greg Hackney will be on the show
next week. Davis win a classic?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. He only won one, but he did win one.
Matter of fact, he was the first guy to be Angler of the Year and win the Classic in the same year.
And won it on a crankbait.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's his thing.
Speaking of winning, are you going to have the night tournament tomorrow night?
Well, we can, but it's over.
Oh, I didn't know if it was over. See? You see what you see? It ain't just you, Stink Bay. You know, all you got to do is just breathe
I
around
tell you
here.
what, you be
get
out there
used.
tomorrow night. No, we last week we wrapped it up. Had our
I put up $100 entry fee and be fishing for $100.
and you'll come in second. No, we had the last one last week. Wrapped it up. The championship will be the last Saturday in September, 26th, 27th. Hopefully out of the American Legion if I get up and call them. And I'm going to be giving away a Stratus boat.
They like it when you do that.
Yeah,
They really just not big on you showing up.
They frown when I'm knocking on the door at 4:30 in the morning.
They can't get an attitude over there, too.
No, it is. The Ram Slam, we had about a 40% growth in our tournament. We were averaging about 75 boats out there every other Thursday. And got, I think it's 60 or 61 teams qualified for the championship in September.
Who was the Anglers of the Year?
I knew you were going to ask
Come
that.
on, man. You don't know this?
It's Mark Hay and
his partner.
Yes, and Mark Hay always fishes with Earl Glass, but he's not fishing that.
Yeah. And you don't know.
No, it's not Mark Hay. I'm going to find out.
Okay.
What, Jeremy Botikin?
No, they don't fish.
I mean, we only get the man in charge on the show.
Yep,
and he has no idea.
But
it was two guys.
This is down to numbers and figures. Yeah. and I don't do that. Charlotte does.
That's not his expertise.
Yeah.
Now he's got a new circuit going though.
Yeah.
And they kicked it off this past weekend.
That's one. I'm still mad at Graff because we were supposed to fish that.
I would love to fish it.
Yeah,
I really would have.
But you
But he
didn't.
wanted- he wanted a real partner.
You didn't even try.
I've got too much going on to do that right now.
He is such a liar.
But I've already
Little
told him
girl.
we're in for next
He's
year.
wearing his Barbie panties
No,
now.
I've already told him we're in
His
for next
ankle
year.
socks.
Yeah.
Hey,
He does.
they're called no-shows. Okay. Now, how get on me?
That's the way he was last weekend in no show.
Yeah, pedal pushers.
Never mind.
Anyway, we had.
I think he was scared.
This Sunday we had the Ram Slam tournament. That's our new circuit where it's a single elimination. We had 32 teams showed up at Caddo Lake. We did the pairings Saturday afternoon about 2:30 at Bayou Outdoors over there in public where everybody could see it.
Yeah.
You know, after 11 years,
They
people
don't trust you,
still
Mike.
don't trust me. You know,
They don't trust him.
I've always said I'm not cheap, but I can be bought. But we did it over there, and we paired the 16 brackets of anglers, team against team, and then we drew the lake, and out of 5 lakes, and we drew Caddo Lake. And they showed up Saturday morning, fished a 1:30, weighed in at 2, and it was just a blowout. It was teams that you would have thought no way they would lose fishing against one other team went home.
Wow.
Teams that just got in it for the fun had a good day and advanced. We'll be fishing the next tournament July the 13th, and teams like Jeff Pate and Eddie Shaw
went home.
Wow. Hey, now tell me, what was the
Jerry
biggest?
Hester, Michael Bedgood got beat as good as there is.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What was the biggest sack?
18 something.
3 fish?
3 fish. We had 2 18-pound sacks. Let me just read this.
Come on.
Who had?
Yeah, because I want to hear about some of the matchups for next week.
Okay, Clayton Fry and Ray White. They were. We made everybody have a sponsor name. Team R&V Works. They had 18-15. And they're paired next week against Adam Oliver and Jeffrey Rice, Team Wally's World. They had 1806 this week. So I know we had 2 18-pound sacks.
Now, do you draw for those pairings again?
Yes.
So you draw for the first, then you draw for this pairing.
So you don't have a bracket initially and do the pairings initially and let the bracket feed itself.
No,
right.
No, I draw.
You'll draw each week.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And we have got some. I mean, we got.
I don't like that.
Why?
I just don't. I'd like to know who I'm playing next week. Right now.
No.
I want to know who I'm up against.
No.
You knew then. We drew at the lake.
Yeah, I knew it, but I'm just saying, once you got the bracket filled in, it's not just progressed from there to you redraw.
See, he's
again.
wanting to know if so-and-so wins, I'll be fishing against them.
Why does that matter?
It doesn't.
It does.
It doesn't.
It's a mental thing.
He's a little girl.
It's a mental thing.
You're a mental midget.
Y'all can't relate to the mental thing with me, okay? It's a mental thing.
He brought a knife to a gunfight. I'm telling you, Eccles.
They fishermen.
I just like to know.
It doesn't matter.
No.
That's why they do the.
I agree. I cannot believe I'm saying in front of God and everybody, I agree with Eccles over Graff on this one.
That's why Ultimate Match Fishing set up. You know, they have the pairings in the beginning. And
Yeah,
then
but
you
who
just
are they?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, you know, that's true.
Internationally known fishing show up against me. You gotta be kidding me.
You two peons, y'all go ahead.
Yeah, pee on this. Let me
So
find
when do you pair them up again? When do they know?
I just told you.
They did it after
you
they
were
fished
so wrapped
Saturday.
up
Okay,
in
that's what
trying
I needed to know.
make a point.
That's what I need to know.
I told you. And you were
Okay.
so wrapped up in trying to be right, you were wrong in front of millions, well, a dozen listeners.
I'm trying to save you some work. If you do it in advance, you don't have to repair.
That's easy.
You're like, Charlotte, if you just quit arguing with me, it wouldn't be so much work. As soon as the tournament was over Saturday, we took the 16 winners, put them back in a pot, and drew them out and paired them.
And did y'all draw the lake then?
No, we will not do that.
And
You'll
that
do
I
that.
understand. That's cool.
When will you draw the lake? Friday?
Saturday.
Saturday.
Saturday afternoon.
Okay. Now, once you draw the lake,
It stays
Can-
out. Stays out. We don't put it back
once
in.
you won't be going back to Caddo, obviously.
No.
Now, once you draw the
Yes.
lake,
Yes.
can
your
they
answer
go
is
free
yes.
fish?
Yes.
Okay.
And I had 2 or 3 of them standing there and left and was going to go fish a couple hours.
Wow.
Saturday afternoon, yeah.
Really?
When you drew
Wow.
when you drew
When
that
I drew
lake?
Caddo, some of them, and they were on the phone. Can I go to Caddo right now? Yeah, if you want to.
Sure.
I'm,
Did any- were any of those guys-
I'm going to Jimmy V's and eat supper. You can go.
You think it mattered on any of them? Did any of them?
No,
think
it didn't
It
matter.
didn't matter. Didn't affect.
As a matter of fact, there was one of the team, David Brown, fishing Claude was on Caddo Lake, caught 40 fish Saturday afternoon.
Wow.
Claude called him and said, the tournament's on Caddo. And he said, I done caught 40 fish.
He'd hair lift all
They
the
caught
fish.
2 Sunday.
Oh
Wow.
man.
They advanced.
They did.
They had 2 that weighed 9 something, and
Dang, they had 2 good fish.
Yeah, they had 2 good fish, weighed 9 something. Caught
Wow.
2 fish. Caught 40 the day before. The hair lift them all.
You know what's
Really?
You know, I would love to be in that bass boat.
I call them Team Black, Jack Daniels is what I call them.
I would love to be in that boat. You know, because David's probably one of the brightest guys, and I'm not saying Claude's not, but David's probably
I'll
one of
say
the.
that.
That's your brother.
I know.
But David's one of the brightest guys around here. I mean, I'm talking about super Mensa smart.
He does computer
Yeah,
stuff.
and to see him in the boat with Claude, it's like Claude's fishing with a bright Opie.
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't that, he looks like the little David. I love you, David Brown, but he looks like that guy from Mad Magazine. You know, the one.
I thought you meant Opie Taylor.
Well, I was. That guy, you know, looks
Alfred E. Newman.
like Alfred E. Newman. Yeah. Okay. What are we doing next? Johnny Geis.
Johnny Geis.
He is tearing them up on
Oh,
Lake
he is
Fork.
killing them, dude.
We're going to get a Lake Fork report from our buddy Johnny Geis. He is next. You better hang around. You're going to miss this one. It's hooking up and tracking down 11:30. The Tiger.
Toledo Fiberglass specializes in fiberglass restoration, offering fiberglass repair on all major brands of ski and bass boats. Al Drew and his staff will get you back on the water where you belong. Everything from metal flake scratches to recarpeting, Toledo Fiberglass can fix it. It's also home of the Gorilla Hull and the headquarters of the Minn Kota Talon Shallow Water Anchor System. So the next time you need fiberglass repairs or restoration, go see Toledo Fiberglass just off the Texas Highway or call 800-554-5452. You've heard the old saying, good things come to those who wait. Well, Natchitoches, the wait is over. John Abraham has just opened the best hunting and fishing store in Natchitoches. Cypress Knee Outdoors, located on Highway 6 west off I-49, has everything a hunter and fisherman could want. Top name brands Zoom, Santone, Pelican, V&M, and the new Uzo baits, as well as hunting brands like Primos, Duck Commander, Hoyt, and Federal. So don't drive to Shreveport Ellick anymore. Go see the guys at Cypress Knee Outdoors or call them at 238-HUNT.
Welcome to the Natchitoches Shooting Range, where you can participate in many exciting activities, such as traps, skeet, 5-stand, sporting clays, cowboy action shoots, and many others. Individual memberships and family memberships are available, but the public is welcome. Come enjoy yourself at the Natchitoches Shooting Range on Tawson Island Road, just before the Grand Ecore Bridge.
Did you notice some brands sending out trophies from 2006 at boat shows this year? Really? That's like wearing your high school Letterman jacket to a job interview when you're 30. But if other brands are going to raise the issue of awards, no matter how old they may be, we're happy to join the conversation. When it comes to awards, Sea Ray is in a class all its own. Sea Ray is the most awarded boat brand ever. Bayou Outdoor Supercenter has yours waiting for you. Bayou Outdoor Supercenter is Louisiana's family-owned RV and marine dealer.
You're hooking up and tracking down on 1130 The Tiger. This segment presented by Nichols Department Stores, Toledo Fiberglass, Paul's Farm and Garden, and J&J Exterminating. Now back to the best outdoor radio show west of the Mississippi and east of the Rockies with Steve Graff, Gary McCoy, and the one and only Mike Eccles.
And I promise you, before the day's over with, we're going to find 9 other ways that Steve Graff is wrong.
We're the best radio show in between Red River and Wascom.
I'm Gary McCoy. Along with us, the Ranger Pro Staffer, Daiwa Rod Pro Staffer, Steve Graff, and of course, as always, Mike Eccles. And we've got on the phone with us our buddy Johnny Geis, who I'm a little bit jealous of right now.
A little?
Yeah. He's on Lake Fork.
You think he was holding out on the
I know he was holding out.
He was holding out?
He just, he said on his Facebook page, I didn't have a customer today, so I thought I'd just do a little more scouting around and see if I couldn't find a couple of other places.
Yeah.
So I just happened to stumble on a couple of brush piles near 30 foot of water, and I accidentally caught one weighed almost 11 pounds. How's that happen, Johnny Geis?
I'll tell you what, guys, during the break, as I'm holding on here, we had one of the rods in the rod holder. Fish just broke it. We boated 2 more, and we just dying laughing because fish are flopping around the boat. And my buddy fixed to pull on one right now. It's just happening, guys. You got him now. Come on over here.
All right, now wait a minute. We've never had a fish caught live on the radio. You got to call this play-by-play for us.
Did you hear him? He just splashed.
Oh, heck. Now, I've shot quail live on there before.
Hey, Johnny, hold your phone loosely right down at the water's edge.
Yeah. And
no joke, guys. We were out scouting again today, and getting ready for Gary's mom tomorrow because we are on them right now. But we put on just an old snap swivel this morning on the brim.
Wow.
And we just dragging it through the timber and looking for some new spots. And we hit a little spot a few minutes ago. And after we kind of did the bait and switch and got rid of the swivel bait with no hook in it, we almost caught those fish they was trying to swallow us quick.
Wow.
And then we've just been sampling them right now to see if there's anything bigger than 6 pounds. So far they're all twins.
Johnny's going to ruin my mom tomorrow. She won't ever want to go back to Lake Hurling. I mean, that'll be it.
Or throw soft plastic.
I'm just, that'll be it. Every time she goes, no, I don't want to go with you, Gary. I'm going to go with Johnny. That'll be what happens from now on.
That'll be okay with Johnny.
Hey, Johnny, I was on Red River Monday, and I got out there, and this is when I really appreciate you because the bite was freaking tough, and I thought to myself over and over, I could be on Lake Fork right now. I bring on setting hooks, instead of struggling out here on Red River in this muddy ocean. Oh, it was killing me.
Johnny, let's just. I want to dummy this down for just a minute because obviously, I mean, you have gotten things so worked out there, and let's make sure before we get away from the fact, if somebody wants to book the fishing trip of their lifetime, Johnny Geis is the man. You can jump on the website at bigfishlakefork.com.
Lake Fork Big
or
Fish.
Lake Fork Big Fish.
LakeForkBigFish.com.
All right. Johnny Geis Fishing Guide on Facebook. Give the phone number, Johnny.
All right, our phone number to reach me is 972-800-3882. That's 972-800-3882. Got some good weekdays left here in July, and when you guys came, they were just starting. Like I told you, they were probably still 25-40% of the fish are still shallow. Well, it looks like they've made their major move now because all the holes are stacking up, and I'm looking around here, and a day like today, I'm not seeing another boat within sight. And there's one there. You don't see that much on Lake Fork, but during the week's the time to go. The lake settles down, and the fish just decide to eat.
Okay, this is what I want to know. let's just assume that that you were preparing for a tournament right now, and you're finding these fish in the deep water. Now we're trying to make this relative to the other lakes in the area. You're finding these fish in these deep holes and things like that. What if you were preparing for a tournament on Fork? What would you be throwing? The artificial lure.
Well, that's a great question, and they are biting now. Several of the guys had an excellent week. Mark Pack is one of the well-known guys here in Lake Fork. He had a couple over 10 2 days ago. They're catching on a big jig and kind of stroking it. It's where you're hopping it up and down off the bottom, and to me, that's imitating the bait fish and the bluegills that's out here too. And drop shot with a mag trick worm, something a little bit bigger. And those things are biting a little bit. You can catch some, but you just can't sit there and just catch a wad of them like we're doing with these with what they eat every day, But yeah, they're biting. And if I was going to fish a tournament here, I'd probably go real shallow. And we got a little bit of rain the other day, and some of our new grass is covered, and you can actually catch some fish still shallow. And when you fish a tournament here, you're trying to catch them under 16 inches, so you're targeting a different fish than these deep fish.
Okay, Johnny, I've got a question for you. I know some guys came over and fished with you before one of the Skeeter owner tournament or something, and you made the comment, said, we're going to go out here and catch these fish on live bait, and you can't catch these fish on artificials, so don't plan on that. Here's my question. Are you saying that there are fish out there in deep water that you cannot catch on artificial bait, or are you saying that anytime that catching them on on the live bait just shows you how many fish there are out there that you're not catching?
I think that's it more than anything. There's so many fish wadded up in holes. You'll fish artificial, and all of a sudden you get one or two. Man, that was good, and we done caught the ones that's here. No. I've got the trolling motor on spot lock right now, and we're moving within a 10-foot radius. And I'd be willing to bet there's 50 bass under us right now that's probably 5 to 6, 7 pounds. And if you sit here and drug a big worm and was patient, sooner or later one of them's going to get curious and peck at it, and you'll catch them. But, you have to be there with artificial right during the major feed. And when that happens, you can catch a few of them.
Yeah, and again, Johnny, a buddy of mine is a wildlife fishery biologist, and he has told me he's done studies where not all bass will hit artificial lures. Some will not hit them. And he said it's just they're not all programmed to do that. He said some bass are catchable and some are not. No.
Well, I've learned too, even with artificial, with the live bait they feed every day. And you see this in the fish in aquarium when the bait fish is right next to them and they're not feeding. The bait fish is not scared of them, the fish are not feeding, and everybody gets along. Same way here, we can go 3 or 4 hours. I'm marking them on my graph. I know it's a well-known feeding hole. The fish are there, and they're not biting. And then I look at the solar tables. I try to be in the best place possible right during that 2-hour major feed time, and it's going to happen a couple times a day where they'll really get excited. You get them turned on, and we get doubles and triples all the time with 2 and 3 people in the boat.
Could that type of fishing be replicated like on the Red or on Toledo Bend?
I had a couple of guys from Haynesville this week, and we had 23 by noon, and they couldn't wait to go home to Claiborne and catch them. I said, guys, that's not going to work, I can tell you before, because there's not that many 5 and 6 pound fish in there. And after they caught 3 or 4 of them, I said, you know why they're not in there? Because these fish go home and get eaten.
Yeah. Well, what about Toledo Bend?
Toledo Bend would probably work. That's such a large fishery and so much diverse structure on that lake. And I'd love to go down to Toledo Bend again and try that out in some of the old drains and humps and there's a lot of old bridges on that lake too. I think Tommy Martin has a real good chip that you can find that good structure on, and it'll work down Toledo Bend.
I have one of those chips. It works for Rayburn and Toledo Bend. It has both.
Okay, we got another one on, but he'll have to take care of that himself.
That's 2 fish. We've been on the air with Johnny less than 10 minutes. That's 2 fish.
2 fish.
12 pounds of fish that he just boated in since we got on the radio.
So how do you, after you've had a day like that, how do you force yourself, like you've come in and you've fished a number of Mike's tournaments, and you go to like Lake Bistineau and you're fishing for 4 or 5 bites in the day. How do you retrain your thinking for that?
I'll tell you what, mentally, I'd have to really work on it because I'm spoiled, obviously, and it's just different. And I had my time fishing tournaments competitively, and I enjoyed the heck out of that. But now I just like catching, and this is hard to break away from. I also striper hybrid guide at Lake Cooper and Twaukene, which is less than 30 minutes from here. But I have not been on those lakes once this year because our bite's been so good. So I don't know how long it'll hold up. It has held up to the end of August, and we were just talking about the water temperature a minute ago. It's 83.5 right now. I mean, that is cool for this time of the year.
It ought to be 93.
Yeah.
It should be, and in the past, that's when I've had my best success, and when that water heats on up in the high 80s and low 90s. And
now, Johnny, again, we talked about this before, but have you tried this technique at night any here lately? Have you decided to try that yet or not?
No, that's still on our. Ooh, we got another one, boys. Hang on back. No, we're going to try that at night. I got a big green light that I want to put on. I've got it on the bottom of the boat, and just one day when we slept real good, we're going to come out and try that, and probably a good full moon here in July. Well,
when you need some help with that, call us three. We'll come over and help.
Oh yeah, we're good guinea pigs.
Yeah, I don't mind night fishing as long as I'm through by about 8:30.
That's usually me. You'll fish all night long, and somebody said, "Boy, we killed him." I said, "What time did they bite?" Well, right before dark, right at daylight. That's not night fishing.
Johnny, Claude, Mike's brother, went out the other day and didn't realize that they were going to be holding the tournament on Caddo Lake, and he caught like 40 fish the day before. Well, the odds of you ever catching that fish again, especially the next day, slim and none. How often have you caught fish that you've caught out of those same holes previously?
Oh, it happens a lot. In fact, buddy just said, "Look here, this was caught 3 times." Let me tell you what happened 3 days ago. We were fishing along. We got a real good fish on, a good sized fish on. Got in a brush pile, locked him down, and we're pulling, and he's pulling. Finally, it breaks off the leader right by the swivel in Carolina Reef. And I hate to have that happen because obviously the fish has got the line in its mouth. I mean, less than 2 minutes later, we put another leader line on, dropped right back down. Up comes this 7-pound fish, and here's my 30-pound big game line coming out of his mouth.
Wow.
I don't see the hook, okay? I don't see the hook. I pull on it just a little bit to see the eye of the hook, go carefully under the gills with my long needle nose, roll that hook back, and not only does the hook come back out, but it's still got the perch on it, about a 3-inch little red perch. The fish is still alive. We tie it back on and drop it down and catch another fish. So obviously it didn't hurt that fish that just swallowed that bait because he was trying to get him another one.
Wow.
Well, here's the whole thing in a nutshell. Fish can be trained not to bite artificial lures.
Yeah.
Right.
And there are artificial lures that they will not bite for days.
Yeah.
They'll bite a worm pretty quick.
Yeah.
But they will never learn not to eat natural food.
Sure.
Right.
Or they die.
They do that every day. Somebody says, "Aren't you afraid that'll train them not to bite artificials?" I said, "Well, they eat natural baits every day. It's not going to do anything else. It's catch and release. We're feeding the fish. I don't see how anybody could not enjoy this. In fact, I've never had anybody that tried it that didn't enjoy the heck out of it." So.
Best guide on Lake Fork, bar none. Johnny Geis, LakeForkBigFish.com, LakeForkBigFish.com. Johnny Geis Fishing Guide on Facebook. Just take a look at some of the pictures, some of the videos that Johnny's put up there. I'm telling you right now, it'll blow your mind, and you're going to want to get one of these trips in before the end of August. Johnny, what's that number again?
Number is 972-800-3882. Got another one on. 972-800-3882.
Hey, I better be getting pictures from my mama tomorrow.
We'll start that. It looks like it's about a midday bite, so it'll probably be later in the morning. But I learned how to catch them. All I got to do is find one crappie brush pile, and we can catch all the bluegill we want. And she's going to have a good time.
I am so excited for her.
And I'm going to see you on the 21st, Johnny. Me and my daughter, we're looking forward to this.
All right, guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Johnny.
The difficult thing your mother's going to have just by listening to y'all and listening to Randy Sellers that went over there is landing the fish.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody says that a 5-pound fish 20 feet down, he says like landing a tuna.
I'm just telling you, honestly, Steve and I talked about this while we were catching these fish, because a 6.5, 7-pound fish, you would swear it would pull the rod smooth out of your. That's the hardest fighting fish that I have ever stuck a hook in my life.
What a great problem to have.
Oh, dude, I'm just telling you. My mama's ruined. There's no question. I will never get her back on Lake Early. It'll never happen again.
Oh, I'm telling you, it will definitely ruin you, because I'm telling you guys the truth. Monday, I thought about, I could be having so much more fun at Lake Fork right now.
Stay with us. Bobby Cole, author of the book Dummy Line. He is next on Hooking Up and Tracking Down 1130, The Tiger.
Thinking about what's really going on right now.
Welcome to the Natchitoches Shooting Range, where you can participate in many exciting activities such as traps, skeet, 5-stand, sporting clays, cowboy action shoots, and many others. Individual memberships and family memberships are available, but the public is welcome. Come enjoy yourself at the Natchitoches Shooting Range on Tawson Island Road, just before the Grand Ecore Bridge. Too hot in the summer, too cold in the winter, and your heating and air conditioning system is burning holes in your paycheck? You need to call Luke at Guy Heating and Air.
Legendary quality. At Ranger, it's an unparalleled commitment to incredible strength. With the industry's only full-truted transom, we don't rely on the upper deck to support the transom and motor. It's a difference so strong, we sliced off this rear deck to show its independence from the transom. From total performance to your peace of mind. Cut open the whole story at rangerstrong.com.
When I go shopping, I want camo, fishing tackle, guns, hunting gear, work clothes.
And when I go shopping, I want home decor, gifts, children's and baby clothes.
Fortunately, we can both get exactly what we need at the same place, Nichols.
All the name brands you can find in the big city without driving to the big city and paying big city prices.
Nichols, keeping folks happy since 1914.
You've heard the old saying, good things come to those who wait. Well, Natchitoches, the wait is over. John Abraham has just opened the best hunting and fishing store in Natchitoches. Cypress Knee Outdoors, located on Highway 6 west off I-49, has everything a hunter fisherman could want. Top name brands, Zoom, Santone, Pelican, V&M, and the new Uzo baits, as well as hunting brands like Primos, Duck Commander, Hoyt, and Federal. So don't drive to Shreveport Ellick anymore. Go see the guys at Cypress Knee Outdoors or call them at 238-HUNT.
This segment presented by Toledo Bend Lake Country, Commercial Power Equipment, Ranger Boats, and Bob Seeley Outdoors, home of the $1 million Big Bass Splash. Take it away, guys.
Well, I jumped the gun a few minutes ago. Bobby Cole, author of the book Dummy Line, coming on the show here in the next 15 minutes or so. First, we got a guy you might have heard a little bit about.
Yeah, he's a pretty good fisherman.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
His
name rings a bell.
Yeah.
He's only leading angler of the year right now on the Elite Series.
Yeah. Mark Davis is on the phone with us. And Mark, if I'm not mistaken, you haven't finished in like less than 5th place this year. Is that correct?
Well, it started out that way, but I bombed out and last my taste of their Dardanelle, but I'm still in the lead. Up to
Mark, we got a really bad connection with you right now. I don't know if you're in a dead zone or what.
Completely dead.
Yeah. He's gone.
That was the shortest interview we have ever done.
That's Mark Davis, folks. Hope you enjoyed that.
Well, that was either Mark Davis or Charlie Brown's teacher.
I'm sure Stinkbait will try to get him back on. Like we were talking about now, I can't remember which lake he said that he bombed out on, but I know that I was reading that up until this particular tournament, he had finished no worse than 4th place for the year so far.
Is he still throws crankbait 99% of the time, or is he?
I think he's pretty
versatile.
Yeah, he is a very versatile guy.
He's very good with a crankbait, but I think
David Fritz, he's crankbait most of the time. But now Mark Davis is one of now. If there's a deep crankbait on, Mark's going to be in the hunt. Yeah, because that's what he likes to do.
I still believe that when it comes right down to it, that from what I've seen with Johnny. Down there it's hard to beat the action of a crankbait when you're looking for that big fish. Hello, Mark. We got a better connection this time?
Yeah, I hope so. I tell you what, I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
Wow, Upper Peninsula of Michigan. I always wanted to go up there and go deer hunting.
You are way up there.
And just to make you guys feel hot, it is currently 60 degrees.
Wow. Yeah, it's a little warmer than that down here.
Yeah, buddy. Okay, now you were telling us a second ago, up until the last tournament, obviously this has been just one of those incredible years where Mark Davis shows he's still Mark Davis. Tell me, now, this last tournament, where were you?
We were at Dardanelle.
Okay, gotcha.
Right almost my home lake. And I finished 80th there. Had a bad event, and but hey, that stuff happens to all of us.
Mark, are you one of those same kind of anglers, where your home body of water sometimes can be a jinx because you know too much? Is that a problem for you a lot of times?
It's a problem for everyone. And what happens inevitably, if you're fishing some more that you're pretty familiar with, I wouldn't call that my home water, but I am familiar with it. And, the fishing was all jacked up. The conditions were different. It was cold. Water was cold. The fish, I don't want them to be moving out, scootering up and doing their post-about thinking. And fish stayed on the bank, and I didn't have enough sense to stay on the bank with them.
Oh, okay.
So when fish get up shallow, Mark Davis really would rather them move out, 7 foot of water somewhere along in there.
Well, if I commit to fishing shallow, I just, it was amazing to say in Arkansas, and fish normally are coming out, scooting up, and kind of in my wheelhouse, but the farmers had all those high fish that finishes in. I was fishing real shallow, so I don't mind fishing shallow.
Hey, Mark, could we get you to do us a favor and crank your boat and drive over to Wisconsin or something? Maybe we get a little bit. Just move over to Wisconsin where we get a little better signal.
I was trying to get the highway there, so we'll have some service. You ain't there yet?
No, it's cutting out really bad, Mark. It's really cutting out bad.
Well, I'm sorry.
He's trying to make a living in Michigan.
Now, we heard that. That we heard.
He's trying to make a living in Michigan, and we're trying to rough him up a little bit on this phone.
Hey, Mark, I got another question for you. You've kind of gone through the southern tour of all the Elite Series. Now you guys are going to the Northern Lakes, and you're leading Angler of the Year. Does that affect you in any way? Are you comfortable in those northern clear waters?
And I always look forward to coming north, fish for smallmouth, and now our next event, it's on the Delaware River. Now I don't know what that's going to hold. The Delaware River being right in downtown Philadelphia, and I went over and fished a couple of days. It didn't seem to have very many bass that lived there. In fact, I wouldn't swap one little pocket on Toledo Bend for that whole river, to be honest.
Mark, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a suggestion here that we try to reschedule with you whenever possibly you get back, maybe south of the Mason-Dixon line again.
Yeah.
So that we can get a better, because I know that, our listeners, our viewers are dying to hear more from Mark, and I hate to think that they're missing out on a great interview with Mark Davis because we got a bad cell connection.
Well, you just call anytime.
We certainly will, brother. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Mark. I'll be in touch with you, Mark.
Okay, stay in touch. Thanks a lot, guys.
You betcha.
Thank you. Hey, let me tell you what. Here last year, Mark Davis was over at Heartland 1010.
Yeah.
They were. I don't even know what they were doing here, but he was over there with Denny Brower and 3 or 4 of the elite pros with Tommy Brown. You wouldn't think it. Tommy Brown said he hurt the next day from laughing at Mark Davis.
Yeah.
He said the funniest storyteller he had ever heard in his life, and you just wouldn't think that of him.
Really?
Yeah.
He said it was like watching blue collar comedy.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
One-on-one, you get right there, with a
you mentioned,
relaxed atmosphere.
You mentioned Heartland. You mentioned Heartland then. Does Tommy have much of a problem with cormorants coming into Heartland?
Not anymore.
Okay. Is that enough said?
Well, we better just quit talking on that one.
Actually not. He got the deprivation permit.
Yeah.
Where you if you have private property that you or commercial use, and the best example is catfish ponds. You can apply for a permit to where you can shoot cormorants.
Really?
And
I didn't know that.
Yes, it takes a while. Takes a lot of
Is that
paperwork.
just a Texas thing, or is that
No. Because
that's a federal protection.
Right. But you can do it. Yes, and you can actually shoot pelicans.
No.
Do what?
Yes, sir.
Really?
Yes, sir. Been there.
Really?
Wow.
They
know that.
They can take a load.
Can you shoot a blue crane?
They're tough, but no. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about that.
Okay.
But anyway,
sandhill crane.
He does not. And Tommy told me that they. He said it's just like a good duck hunt.
Really?
Yeah. But it had a lot of problem. But there is a solution to it. And I think next week I've got in contact with Pat Stinson, who is I believe federal biologist down on the Red River, the new Red River Reserve, which is right off the Bossier Teague Parkway, just south of Sammy Davis Bridge, a new lake down there.
Right. Yeah.
And he is very knowledgeable on the cormorants situation. He's on vacation. We're going to try to have him on the show next week, and we're going to talk about the devastation that these useless, no good birds just a prime example, just like snow geese have been allowed to, because they have no predators, nobody hunting them, too many Audubon bird lovers protecting them, and now they are a major problem.
Yeah, they took almost 12,000 of them off of Santee Cooper.
Not a drop in a bucket, 12,000.
Yeah.
Not a drop
The same
in a
problem
bucket.
we got with hogs, you've got with cormorants.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
So.
And I think that at one point, obviously, there was probably a problem that was going on. I still don't see any redeeming quality, that why we need a cormorant around, but they have become an issue, and hopefully we'll be able to get some resolution on that. I didn't realize you could get a deprivation permit.
I didn't either. I didn't know that.
That's good to know. Okay, stay close. All right, now Bobby Cole from the book Dummy Line and from
President of Mossy Oak, Tecumseh.
That's next. Hooking up and tracking down 11:30. The Tiger.
So I fiddle when I can, work when I should. Thank God I'm a country boy.
Looking for a place to get away from it all? Look no further than Red River's Midway Marina in St. Maurice. Owners John and Kemp Nelson invite you to stop by for lunch or come in and rent one of several cabins for the weekend. RV hookups and a nice boat ramp that leads to some of the best skiing and fishing on Red River. Fully stocked bait and tackle store with gas pumps on and off the water. So book your next trip online, MidwayMarinaStMaurice.com, or call 318-646-0097. Natchitoches, Louisiana is known for its rich history, and when you talk car buying, Natchitoches Ford has the distinction of selling the very first Ford automobiles in Louisiana. That means they have been satisfying customers for a long time. Friendly people who will make sure you have a great car buying experience. Their no high pressure and hassle-free sales staff will do their best to offer you the best service possible when buying that new car or truck. Family owned and operated, Calvin Braxton Sr. and Jr. want to invite you to stop by and see the guys who started it all in Louisiana car buying at Natchitoches Ford Lincoln, just off the Highway 1 bypass in Natchitoches, or call them at 318-352-3677.
Rick Terrell here for Terrell Brothers Furniture in Natchitoches, where we've got 7-piece living room groups as low as $5.99. You heard right, 7-piece living room groups as low as $5.99. And we've got over 20 groups to choose from. So before you buy living room furniture anywhere, come to Terrell Brothers Furniture, 310 Texas Street in Natchitoches.
Did you notice some brands sending out trophies from 2006 at boat shows this year? Really? It's like wearing your high school letterman jacket to a job interview when you're 30. But if other brands are going to raise the issue of awards, no matter how old they may be, we're happy to join the conversation. When it comes to awards, Sea Ray is in a class all its own. Sea Ray is the most awarded boat brand ever. Bayou Outdoor Supercenter has yours waiting for you. Bayou Outdoor Supercenter is Louisiana's family-owned RV and marine dealer.
This is Hooking Up and Tracking Down on 1130 The Tiger. This segment presented by Santone Lures, the Red River Waterway, and Vicious Fishing Line. Get vicious with the fishes. Now back to the guys who set the standard in outdoor radio. Just not very high. Steve Graff, Gary McCoy, and Mike Eccles.
What was it Mike said? Anywhere between Wascom and the Red River?
Yeah.
Best radio show?
Yeah, without a doubt.
We're the best radio show in that 11-mile stretch.
I'm Gary McCoy, the Ranger Pro Staffer Steve Graff, in the center of your radio today. And over there in the right-hand corner and the cheap seats, he is Mike Eccles.
The nosebleed section.
That's the guy. On the phone, Bobby Cole, author of the book Dummy Line. And now, Bobby, that's not your real claim to fame, though it is taking you to a brand new audience. You know a little bit about the outdoors.
Well, I guess a little bit. I don't know that it's a claim to fame per se, but I've been working for Mossy Oak for 20 years, and
well, you think you're gonna like it?
Yeah, I think
it might work out. We're not real sure.
So I've been around hunting and fishing, all my life, and I'm just, it's absolutely what I live to do is to be able to slip off and go turkey hunting every morning, or duck hunting, or deer. Whatever's in season is what we're after, and then when it's not seasons, we're all about trying to improve our property to make it better for the next season.
Hide the light.
Yeah. Hey, Bobby, Mike Eccles here. Thank you so much for taking time out and calling us. But let me tell you how this evolved. My good buddy, Ted McCrory, we swapped books, and I was going on vacation to Cancun to get my annual
brownie points.
I lay on the beach for 7 days so I can duck hunt for 60. That's the swap.
Wow.
But anyway,
good man, Mike.
Yeah.
You took one for the team.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
I asked Ted McCrory, I said, looking for a good book to read on vacation. He says, you've got to read Dummy Line. He said, I just finished it. My wife finished it. And he said, you'll love it. So I buy it on my Kindle thing and read it when I get.
He's got a Kindle.
Yeah, I do have a Kindle. Anyway,
doesn't even have a Facebook, but he's got a Kindle.
I got Facebook. So anyway, I told Bobby that I wasn't but about 4 or 5 pages into this book before I realized not only was I going to like it, I was going to finish it.
Yeah.
And when I get to the end of the book, there's a bio. Bobby Cole, president of Mossy Oak Biologic, turkey hunter. And I said, this is why I like the book.
Yeah.
And everything in it was real.
Yeah.
So, Bobby, I got to ask you, I compare it to a modern day Deliverance. That's what the book is to me is like.
Without the pig squealing.
Yeah, without the pig squealing. There was some pig squealing.
You got pretty lips.
Yeah. Tell me how did the plot evolve from this book?
Well, it's a suspense thriller, and it's got like 1,000 or 900 reviews on Amazon, and it's averaging 4.3 stars. And I don't have 900 friends, so you got
903 now.
Yeah. It's gotten really good reviews. A number of people have said it's a modern-day Deliverance, but the gist of the story is about a guy who takes his 8-year-old little girl on her first turkey hunting trip, and his wife has warned him, do not let anything happen to that baby. She really doesn't want him to take his daughter, but he does, and they're at this camp house. It's a real remote old camp way back in the woods, and they're there, and they've roasted marshmallows and cooked hot dogs and having a big time like dads and daughters do. But during the middle of the night, somebody drives up. The main character hears them drive up, and he thinks it's another club member to go hunting. Only it's a bunch of redneck thugs, and they see him and get excited, and he sees them and knows he's got that little girl, and they're blocking the only way out. And the story is what happens the rest of the night. And I actually dreamed the chapter 6, Mike, that you read is that kind of gets the whole story started with the violence, and I dreamed that, and so I just got thinking this could really happen because we all go to hunting camps and we don't lock the doors. We might leave our gun in the pickup truck because you're going to drive somewhere in the morning, and you just let your guard down at a hunting camp or a fishing camp, and so I thought
you feel safe there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I just thought this could really happen. I've been to a bunch of camps in my life, and rarely does anybody lock the door. And there's always a bunch of valuable stuff around. And so I just thought this is real. This could happen. And I just sat down, and it took me about 18 months, but I wrote the story, and it's just been so much fun because so many people relate to it and have said, hey, my husband doesn't read, but this is the only book he read it cover to cover in one night. And I've just heard a lot of those and a lot of stories about guys with 13, 14-year-old little boys that don't like to read but enjoyed reading this story.
Well, I got sick in Mexico, and I read the book in 12 settings in the restroom.
I was going to say, he dreams a book, and the dreams that I have usually follow bad Mexican food, and they're just not, you wouldn't want that written down.
Okay, Bobby, here's a question for you, and I want a yes or no answer. Then I'm going to go into the other question. Of all the characters in there, are any of them fashioned after somebody you really know? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Is Sheriff Marlowe one of them? That would be my guess.
No, he's just kind of several people that I've known through the years rolled into one.
Okay, I really thought that he was an egotistical sheriff that comes in to help with the investigation and narcissistic and always didn't want to solve the investigation, just wanted to be in front of the camera. Yeah. And I just thought that's probably somebody that you know.
No.
Now, Mark, Mike,
we would do that for Steve Graff. Just get in front of the camera.
Mike, you said he wrote it. That Bobby wrote this book like a hunter, and that's why you say, how do we hunters, how do we write?
Well, here's what interested me about the book. Kept me going was out of all the stuff that happened, very exciting, very dramatic. None of it was off the chart. It was all, this could really happen this way.
Gotcha.
And it even gets down, I'm not going to go into it, towards the end of the book, there's something about 12-gauge shotgun shells that takes place that every one of us could relate to.
Yeah.
And it was like, none of this stuff was just off the chart, unbelievable. It's just a bunch of people that were in the wrong place at the wrong time, like a lot of bad incidents. But it was an incredible story.
Now, Bobby, this is 100% fiction? None of this?
It is 100% fiction. And Mike, did you know that there's a sequel to it? It's called Moon Underfoot.
Well, that just cost me another $8. Thank you. I saw that. I saw that on your email, your website, or some kind of computer stuff. I did not know. I saw the book. I did not know it was a sequel. I will get the book tonight on my Kindle's Fire book or whatever you call that thing.
I appreciate that.
So, Bobby, is this more of a continuation of that book, or is it goes another story similar, or what?
Well, it's a little bit of a continuation. There's I don't want to spoil the dummy line for folks, but there is it is a continuation. It kind of takes place 18 months later. It wraps up some loose ends, but it involves it brings in a whole new story and some new characters, and just kind of keeps it going.
Okay,
the opening line isn't "I know what you did last summer." Denver, is it?
Dummy line. I know where there's a Dummy Line Road up in out of Jones, Louisiana. This is Dummy Line Road. I said something to Steve and Gary, and they looked at me like I'm the dummy. Dummy line means something that it's a term that is used not just in this book. I mean, I've heard it before. What does dummy? Where did that come from?
Well, it's pretty interesting. I only knew where one was at the time, but I was a member of a hunting club, and there was a dummy line that ran through it. And what it is, back in the turn of the century, they would in these big vast swamps, they would lay railroad tracks, and they would typically just ran straight, and they didn't go anywhere. They came back to one central point so that they could cut timber, harvest the timber, and they would rail the timber out.
Oh.
And then when they got finished timbering a place, they would move to another property, and they would just take up the rails, but they would leave the gravel beds there. So those over years turned into roads or landmarks on property, and they're just completely straight and go for miles and miles and miles, kind of like a power line without power poles.
Well,
Wow.
I never heard that term.
So it's just it was a dead end railroad line that was done away with.
Yes, and since I've written the book, I've learned that all over from Texas to Maine, I've had people call me and tell me about their dummy line, and road signs have been sent to me, and just all sorts of stuff. I had no idea there were so many of them.
That's interesting.
This has worked out great because we spent the whole segment on the book, which I wasn't sure whether we could do or not.
Yeah.
I wanted to get into Mossy Oak and biologic, and we have not done that, which means, Bobby, we're going to call you in another couple of weeks.
You get to come back, Bobby.
And you'll be double famous because you'll be on our show twice.
Yeah.
But would you do that? Would you come back and let's get into the biologic end of this?
Absolutely, I'd love to. Louisiana's one of my favorite states. There's a lot of great sportsmen down there, and they're really into hunting and fishing. I'd love to come back and talk to you.
Do you have a good duck hunting spot over there?
We do. We're crazy about duck hunting now.
Okay, I can come.
Well,
but not without me and Gary.
Well, I duck hunt up in Arkansas, but I duck hunt about 60 days out of the season. So, but I could squeeze you in if you got a really good spot. So.
I hear you.
Thank you, Bobby Cole.
Well, he didn't say yes.
Thank you, man. That's great.
He's not going to say yes.
I will go buy this book. I'm not a reader, okay? If it ain't Bassmaster, Bass Times, Outdoor Life, I don't read stuff. But I'm going to go get this book.
I'm going to get it, too.
I'm going to go get it.
It's great. It's great.
Amazon's the best place to get it to. It's just really easy, quick.
Dummy Line, and the follow-up to Dummy Line, again?
Is Moon Underfoot.
Moon Underfoot. Okay,
right.
There's two of them we got to get.
Two books, yeah.
That's your summer project there, Graffy.
I'm telling you what, y'all will have it read. Even y'all's busy schedule, y'all have it read in 3 or 4 days.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. Done deal. Cool. And Bobby, you will come back and you're going to give us a little bit of tips as to what we need to be planting and what else is going on.
Yes, sir. I'd absolutely love to.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much, Bobby.
Thank you, Bobby.
All right. Thank you, guys.
What a cool guy.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I feel like now we've taken him up a level on the ladder. I mean,
I emailed him last night at 9:30 or 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And this morning he calls me. Kind of a shock that somebody gets back with you that quick.
Yeah.
But he was not, as Stinkbait said, animated on the phone this morning.
Right.
I thought, we may have to pry on this guy. What a
As
great
good a
interview.
job as you did of this, Mike, I'm going to let you do some more stuff for the show, so I'll get you a little more
busy.
involved.
I'm busy.
He needs you to get up there and turn the tape over on the camera.
The camera.
Can you adjust that light over there? And Stinkbait needs some sweet tea.
Yeah, well, I'll just turn the camera upside down instead of turning the tape over.
Hey, Shelly Sanders of Major League Bass Fishing. Yeah, you know who we're talking about. She is next. Hooking up and tracking down 11:30. The Tiger.
Too hot in the summer, too cold in the winter, and your heating and air conditioning system is burning holes in your paycheck? You need to call Luke at Guy Heating and Air. Welcome to the Natchitoches Shooting Range, where you can participate in many exciting activities, such as trap, skeet, 5-stand, sporting clays, cowboy action shoots, and many others. Individual memberships and family memberships are available, but the public is welcome. Come enjoy yourself at the Natchitoches Shooting Range on Thousand Island Road, just before the Grand Ecore Bridge.
Toledo Fiberglass specializes in fiberglass restoration, offering fiberglass repair on all major brands of ski and bass boats. Al Drew and his staff will get you back on the water where you belong. Everything from metal flake scratches to recarpeting, Toledo Fiberglass can fix it. It's also home of the Gorilla Hull and the headquarters of the Minn Kota Talon Shallow Water Anchor System. So the next time you need fiberglass repairs or restoration, go see Toledo Fiberglass just off the Texas Highway or call 800-554-5452.
You're watching KNTS Digital 19 in Natchitoches, Louisiana.
You've heard the old saying, good things come to those who wait. Well, Natchitoches, the wait is over. John Abraham has just opened the best hunting and fishing store in Natchitoches. Cypress Knee Outdoors, located on Highway 6 west off I-49, has everything a hunter or fisherman could want. Top name brands Zoom, Santone, Pelican, V&M, and the new Uzo baits, as well as hunting brands like Primos, Duck Commander, Hoyt, and Federal. So don't drive to Shreveport Ellick anymore. Go see the guys at Cypress Knee Outdoors or call them at 238-HUNT.
Legendary quality. At Ranger, it's an unparalleled commitment to incredible strength. With the industry's only pull-truted transom, we don't rely on the upper deck to support the transom and motor. It's a difference so strong, we sliced off this rear deck to show its independence from the transom. From total performance to your peace of mind. Cut open the whole story at rangerstrong.com.
Hello, I'm Troy Umbehagen. We at Natchitoches Nursing and Rehabilitation proudly support and watch TV17's local programming.
We love it. It's exciting.
Esto es vida. We wear it to be safe.
We're teaching our kids about safe boating.
We all love this life.
Wear it and love the life. This message brought to you by the National Safe Boating Council.
.com or call 66-308-3344.
Welcome back to Hour 2 of Hooking Up and Tracking Down on 1130 The Tiger. This segment presented by the Outdoor Channel's The Preefers, Spro Lures, BioBore Fuel Treatment, and Natchitoches Ford. Once again, here's Steve, Gary, and Mike.
Hey, thanks for spending the day with us, hooking up and tracking down. I'm Gary McCoy. The Ranger Pro staffer Steve Graff is also here. Mike Eccles in the house. And on the phone, Shelly Sanders of Major League Bass Fishing. And
hey,
Shelly, I think my partners are a little intimidated.
I'm infatuated.
You got them shook up a little bit, baby girl.
I love it.
I talked to her at length the other day. I'm cool now. I'm all right with her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's an East Texas girl.
What part of East Texas?
Yes, I am. I am an East Texas girl. I was born in Longview. And
so do you know Matthew McConaughey?
Honey, I was so mad at my dad for moving away.
Yeah.
Could have been his wife, you know. No, I don't know Matthew, but, you know.
So were you a Lobo?
You know. What's that?
Were you a Lobo?
No, I was only born there, and then we moved to Gilmer.
Oh, okay.
Oh, she was a Buckeye.
Gilmer.
Wow.
Yeah, the Gilmer Buckeyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a Buckeye for
there
a
you
while.
go. Yeah.
So, but yeah, all my family still lives in Texas, and I was just telling Steve the other day, hey, I'll be back there in about 10 days. So, if I get the opportunity, I'll pop on over.
So, what's bringing you back to the area?
I've got family there, you know. I'm there, gosh, at least once a year. Sometime this year, this is my third trip back. So yeah, I'm always back there for family.
So is there a Mr. Shelley?
That's a great question in the sky. As a matter of fact, no.
Oh. See, Shelley, I would have lost the bet because I've been telling them all along that you were probably married to Tommy Sanders. And they said, no, Tommy Sanders too old. I said, well, Tommy's a nice guy. He's a good-looking guy, and this is a beautiful woman. It could happen, but you're not. You weren't married to Tommy Sanders.
Wasn't married to Tommy Sanders, no.
Well, but that's okay. That means you're available. I'd rather have it that way.
Yeah.
This is not the direction I want the show to go, Shelley. But anyway.
Sure. Well, we just had to get all these things out of the out of the way.
But her dad, guys, is a guy from Mount Pleasant who owns a company called Easy Step. And Gary and I, Shelley, went to Lake Fork to fish with Johnny Geis, who I told you about the other day. He actually had one on his boat trailer. And I thought, what are the odds that we're tied in with you? Your dad's going. Hopefully, I'm going to get your dad tied in with us fairly soon. And I just think it was just small world.
You know, speaking of small world, here's this beautiful young lady from East Texas. How in the world do you wind up getting paired up into the likes of Major League bass fishing? How does that happen?
I got to tell you, my entire life I've always said I am phenomenally lucky. I get great parking spaces. I end up just meeting spectacular people, and that trend continued when I got involved with Major League Fishing, and it really was it was kind of a fluke, really. I host another show at the Saltwater Show in Florida, all about tarpon. It's a professional tarpon tournament series. And we had a writer that, or we didn't actually, a writer was covering the tournament series, and he also does a lot of stuff, freelance stuff for the Outdoor Channel, and happened to mention to them, hey, I know you guys are looking for this girl, and one thing led to another, and it all just kind of worked out perfectly. So I have such a blast doing the show, and I can't tell you, every one of the guys, I get asked all the time, which one's your favorite? Okay, who's going to win the next one? Who's the best? And there is no answer to any one of those questions because I love each one of them for their own reason. You've got some of the guys like Tommy Biffle, who is so hysterically funny and incidentally funny, I might add.
And he's intimidating. He's one of the intimidating guys to me.
He seems that way, and at first I was a little like, gosh, he just seems so serious, and I am a crack up. I not too many things do I take seriously in life, and so I thought, gosh, he's probably not going to take kindly to my sarcastic wit. And as it turns out, he's refreshing because he is hilarious, and he's also very sarcastic, and he knows he intimidates people, and I think that's the beautiful part about it.
Yeah, he's old school.
Oh, he is way old school.
He's
but I love
old
him.
school.
Well, y'all asked the question: how in the world did Shelley Sanders get tied up with Major League Fishing? It's obvious. I mean, you got a bunch of this big wad of old goofy redneck guys that like to bass fish. They say, "Oh, we're going to start this new show. We need somebody to talk." Shelley doesn't even send a resume.
Yeah,
she sends one picture.
Yeah.
And these guys look at the picture and says, "Okay, this is her."
But you know what? What amazes me is how well spoken you are. I mean, did you grow up fishing and you were around the outdoors and stuff like that?
I did, and I still am, and I love it. So I grew up bass fishing. My dad was always a pro. He was part of the Skeeter bass team. He gosh, I don't know, maybe 78 or 79, named one of their boats. It was the El Diablo. But, and he lived literally, okay, this will tell you, I grew up in a bass fishing household. First of all, every weekend we had fish fries every Friday. And we had a carport, not a garage. It was just one single car carport.
That's weird.
That's where the boat stayed. Okay, the boat got the carport, the car set out out in the weather. It was hilarious.
That means your daddy had his priorities straight.
Yeah, he's redneck.
Absolutely.
He's redneck.
We could do just about anything, but don't mess with the boat. And that still kind of holds true today. But yeah, I grew up fishing in bass country there in East Texas, and then we moved to South Carolina for a while, and we fished the lakes in South Carolina. And then my family moved back, and I ended up in Florida 15 years ago and found a love of saltwater. Even though I still love bass fishing, I just the idea of, sight fishing is a lot of fun for me.
Do you still own a boat?
Excuse me?
Do you own a boat personally? Does Shelly Sanders have her own boat?
Every time I entertain it, I think, well, that's kind of stupid because I know a million people with boats, and I just call and ask.
Yeah.
I can't imagine telling her no.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, I'm booked up. You can't come fishing with me.
Well, guys, I'm going to tell you.
I'll go buy one if she'll go.
By the way, I went to Shelly's Facebook page. Well, by the way, Shelly, great job with your Facebook page. It's got a lot of tarpon information. You get to see what Shelly really does besides Major League Bass Fishing. It just brings her to another side. You can tell you're so knowledgeable, Shelly, and that you've been doing this for a while. You're no stranger to the outdoors at all.
Oh, no, not at all. I love it, actually. I just have it. I've just got a new passion. This past winter, I got involved in, I got a bow, and I absolutely love it. It's a compound bow of PSC, and oh my gosh, I'm having such a blast with that. So I just recently was out on the water with some guys that use their bows for fishing even. So that might be my next attempt.
Shelly, you have no idea what this is going to mean, but you have just surpassed Tiffany Lukowski.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're kidding me.
Tiffany was Mike's number one heartthrob. Now you've taken her place.
Now, what you have to understand is now you have to go file for the restraining order and
stalker.
I promise I won't break any windows.
You have just brought on all kinds of legal problems.
Well, I was trying to figure out if Shelly came in studio, who's going to come off the mic? Well, Mike will just go sit in a chair over there, and he'll just let Shelly sit right here. He'll be in hog heaven. He won't care. So.
Oh, that is hilarious.
But anyway. But hey, your dad moved back. When did he move back to Mount Pleasant? And, Easy Step, which we've kind of alluded to. When did he start that company?
Yeah, Easy Step, let's see. He's been doing that for about 4 years, I guess. 4 years ago, maybe. Maybe it could be a little bit longer, but he's been in Texas, back in Texas for, easily 20 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, yeah.
Now, did you tell me he started the first bass club? You thought he started the first bass club in East Texas?
No, he did start a bass club when bass itself was starting, and it was called Big Bass Express, and it was right around the same time period as bass, and I know it was just there were a lot of different things going on, and you just it's hard to hang, and he had a marina at the time too, so that all went to the side, and he just maintained his Skeeter team membership. But yeah, he had a lot to do with all. I mean, he's fished with all the greats. It's funny, I just saw Jimmy Houston not too long ago, and I haven't seen him since I was a little bitty kid, and that man hadn't changed aside from a few wrinkles.
No.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, he will talk your ear off.
He will.
He will talk your ear off.
Hey, Shelly, will you stick with us for another segment?
You betcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
I want to. We come back. I want to talk about your foundation you're involved with, Tighten the Drag. I want to talk about that.
Absolutely.
Shelly Sanders from Major League Bass Fishing is on the phone. She'll be with us. You need to be with us. Up next, hooking up and tracking down 11:30 the Tiger.
But I wish that we would go.
Some things just stay the same, but not Toledo Town and Tackle. Still the best selection of tackle on the bin. Zoom, dive with Gene LaRue and Santone. Now double the size of the original store, you have twice as much to choose from. With a new deli serving the best hamburgers, pizza, and soft drinks, you'll find something that's sure to fill your belly. They also have a great selection of tees and polo-style shirts. So stop in and treat yourself to the best tackle box on the bin. Toledo Town and Tackle on beautiful Toledo Bend Lake. Looking for a place to get away from it all? Look no further than Red River's Midway Marina in St. Maurice. Owners John and Kemp Nelson invite you to stop by for lunch or come in and rent one of several cabins for the weekend. RV hookups and a nice boat ramp that leads to some of the best skiing and fishing on Red River. Fully stocked bait and tackle store with gas pumps on and off the water. So book your next trip online, midwaymarinastmaurice.com, or call 318-646-0097. Hello everybody, Ranger Pro Staffer Steve Graff with the Hooking Up and Tracking Down Show. Folks, there's nothing I love more than my Rhino. I've had 3-wheelers, I've had 4-wheelers, but if you want the best of the best, you need to get you a Rhino 700 from Honda Yamaha Village right here in Natchitoches. My Rhino does more than take me to and from the deer stand. It is a great utility vehicle around your house. You can use it for all kinds of stuff, including yard work. I've got it loaded down right here. But one of the best features of the Rhino, it's got a dump bed right in the back of it. So go see the guys at Honda Yamaha Village of Natchez, Chip, Layton, and the gang over there, and let them show you the new Yamaha 700 series from Honda Yamaha Village right here in Natchez.
When I go shopping, I want camo, fishing tackle, guns, hunting gear, work clothes.
And when I go shopping, I want home decor, gifts, children's and baby clothes.
Fortunately, we can both get exactly what we need at the same place, Nichols.
All the name brands you can find in the big city without driving to the big city and paying big city prices.
Nichols, keeping folks happy since 1914.
This segment of Hooking Up and Tracking Down on 1130 The Tiger, presented by Cypress Knee Outdoors, Mr. Twister, and Lake Fork guide Johnny Geis, the only guide you'll need at Lake Fork. Back to you, Gary.
And on the phone with us today, this is so cool. Thank you for being here. On the phone with us, co-host of Major League Bass Fishing, Shelly Sanders, actually an East Texas girl, but for the last 10 years, she's been in Florida doing a TV show on tarpon fishing, but for the last couple of seasons with Major League Bass Fishing, and we're just tickled to death that you're able to hang out with us today, girl.
I am so happy that you guys called me and asked me to take part in it.
Did you call your dad and tell him to listen today, Shelly?
Well, you know I did.
Yeah, sure she did.
Okay, you better.
Yeah, that was the first phone call she made when she got up this morning.
Honey, that was the first phone call I made after I talked to you. I called and said, you know Johnny Geis? And he's like, of course. I said, you're not going to believe this, but...
Small world. Isn't it a small world? It really is. You just like, wow. Anyway.
Bananas.
Okay. Now, looking at your Facebook page and some other things I've seen, you're involved with an organization called Tighten the Drag. It's a foundation. Tell us a little bit about that and what's the cause?
Well, Tighten the Drag, it's just phenomenal. It goes to help out those individuals that have had accidents, and it's those individuals that are involved in some type of outdoor sports, primarily water related. And how I got to be involved in it was a captain that fished, he was one of our tournament teams in the tarpon tournament show that I do. He went scalloping up in Crystal River, Florida, right after the tournament series were over, tarpon season was over, and dove into the water. And he's also a full-time guide. Anyway, dove into the water, hit something on his head, felt some cracking and heard cracking in his neck. And one thing led to another. As he's swimming back to the boat, he started losing function of his body. And the end result was he was paralyzed from the neck down. And his name was Robert Trey Montana. And it just hit home because literally the week before I had been in Crystal River myself, scalloping. And I had just seen him during the tarpon series, and, you know, it just brought into perspective of how quick things can happen and how much we take for granted. So his mother called and let me know everything that was going on, and so I thought, you know what? Hey, if there's something that I can do to help out, absolutely. You know, life is just so, it's just so precious. And I think that was the part that struck me, that hit home with me. But I am happy to say she also just texted me literally 3 days ago, pictures of Robert on a big bean bag. I don't know if you've seen those big marine bean bags that you can put on your boat. They're great for people that are paralyzed or have mobility issues on a boat. And they've got it up on the bow, and he's sitting there, and he's obviously got some movement back through physical therapy over the last 2 years. But he caught his first tarpon. So he was just so ecstatic. He didn't think he'd ever be able to do that again.
And that's no easy task. A tarpon's not a bass.
Okay.
No, it isn't.
Wow. You've explained what Tighten the Drag is. Now, how can we help?
You know what? If you can go and log on to the website, tightenthedrag.com, and they've got all kinds of ways that you can help out. Anything from items to actual financial donations. There's always something on there. There's always a wish list. Right now, one of the girls that's on there, I've kind of come to know. Her name's Molly Santiago. She's just a beautiful person, and not just physically, but just the fact that her soul is so pretty. She was a water skier and got in a car accident. She's a mom of 2 kids, and so she's just trying to raise money right now just to get a van, which is the little things that we don't think about. It takes these individuals sometimes as much as 45 minutes just to get into a car. So any kind of thing that you can think of. It's kind of ironic, my dad doing the easy stuff. We didn't even realize how much that item means to some people with mobility issues until, started doing some things with Tighten the Drag. And so he's donated a few of those. So really, any way that you can think of, that's how you can help out. And sometimes it's just as simple as even a note to them saying, hey, you know what, we heard about your deal, and just know I'm praying for you. And a prayer goes a long way.
Amen.
Hey,
Amen.
Shelley, let's rewind about 3 or 4 minutes. And you said this friend of yours that had the accident, the tarpon fisherman,
Robert,
was up in a river, and he went up there doing something. You said you had been in that river.
Scalloping.
Scalloping.
What the heck?
Diving for scallops.
Oh, if you've never done it, you gotta try it. Please come down.
Scallop was an onion.
Now, Shelley, now you see, this is where the restraining order comes in, because before this is over with, he's going to have himself invited to go with you because he knows you're going to be wearing a bathing suit, jumping off, going scalloping.
See what we have to work with.
You know what? Come on, I'll show you how to do
scallops.
What?
I'll
She said,
show
come
you
on,
how
she'll
to
take
do
you
it.
scalloping.
I'll show you how to do it, and I promise you, they're not onions.
Oh, okay.
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Where are you from?
When he loses a brain cell, the other one is going to get real lonely.
I think so.
He was a 60s baby, okay?
Look, I can go home and be talked to this way, guys. I don't have to listen to y'all.
Shelley, with the Major League Bass Fishing, obviously,
I want to go back to that.
Obviously, a lot of tape is going to hit the ground. It's going to get edited out. But if there was a blooper reel that was being put together right now, and it was something that you could actually discuss on the radio, which is what I'm asking you to do, what would be one of those funny moments that you go, I can't believe this just happened?
Oh my goodness. That is a regular occurrence, and especially if it involves me, because you never know what might fall out of my mouth, and I just look at everybody like I'm sorry. Beat it up.
That's my East Texas showing.
But gosh, I'd have to give that one some thought. There's so many. I know we have had more fun with Sasquatch.
Yeah, we've been experiencing some of that ourselves here lately.
Oh my gosh! Now that I would say that probably the majority of any kind of blooper reel would have to come out of any of the promos or some of the things that we've done with Sasquatch. Of course, that's Jack Link's mascot.
You bet. Now,
Oh, my
you know
God.
about the guy wearing the ghillie suit that got ran over, don't you?
Up in Montana?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got killed.
I hate laughing at somebody's death, but this guy had it coming.
Wait a minute. No, we are not talking about the actual Sasquatch guy.
He was wearing a Sasquatch suit. Or ghillie
this
suit.
is another guy.
Yeah.
This is a guy in Montana trying to play a prank.
Yeah.
And he got run over by a car.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
I hate to say it.
There's an idiot born every day.
What is it Forrest Gump says? Stupid is, stupid does.
Amen.
There we go. There we go.
Now,
Yeah.
give us a little bit about the coming season. You know, where are we going to see Shelley? Where are you guys headed?
Oh, now isn't that a question? You know I can't say anything.
Okay. Well.
So, no.
Hey, I'm going to tell you, you know, we ask the tough questions here.
Oh, I can tell. Is that an onion?
Okay, I'm back to Tiffany.
You just broke his little heart.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he's crying
Now,
over here.
I want to reiterate something y'all said a while ago about Shelley being so well spoken on there. A lot of times, really, and I'm going to get in trouble again. Not a lot of women, not a high percentage of women grow up fishing, know about tournament fishing, bass fishing. And when you take a female and put them in this position, a lot of times you can tell they use the generic terms. They read a magazine and they're quoting stuff.
Yeah.
And it really comes off as being
fake,
phony, fake.
Right.
And
But she's so comfortable.
Shelley is not that way. I mean, I've watched Major League, the highest ratings in any of the fishing shows right now.
Right.
Major League. So I watch it a lot, and you do such. I mean, you just do way better than Marty Stone does. What's his name?
Marty Stone.
Yeah,
it's Marty.
Yeah, Marty Stone. Really, but I mean, you do a great job. It's not like you're using these generic terms. You're making something up and trying to quote out of a book. You know what you're talking about.
Hey, I'm going to find out just how much she knows.
Well, I appreciate that, and I got to tell you, you know, here's the thing, and I have to say, I have a complete respect for any other woman that is in my position that maybe they didn't have some of the same opportunities that I had, but I got to say, I definitely don't know everything there is to know. I think that might be where the line kind of crosses in the sand, because I'm the first one to say, hey, I don't know, show me how to do it. What are you doing? You know, and try and learn, because I think that's key in anything you do, regardless of whether it's fishing or hunting or
Oh, there's so much new stuff that comes out all the time that, you know, really, it's hard to stay up on. You need continuing education courses.
Well, when Shelley's dealing with the Elite Series pros, these guys are so creative and innovative on their own. That's why they're where they're at.
Yeah.
You know, now, I do have one question. I've got to say, and I'm sure you're going to confirm this, is Gerald Swindle the funniest guy on the tour?
Well, you know, Gerald's not actually part of our and please don't misunderstand me, he is definitely a pro, but he's not actually part of our major league staff.
He's never been
Way to go, Graf. Way to go, Graf. You screwed that up.
Yeah.
Well, now.
It's all good. It's all good.
But you know him.
Well, and okay, let me ask, and that brings me to another question. Do you guys, who handpicks this group of anglers? Like, are y'all rotating some of these anglers in and out, in the future shows? Will there be guys like Gerald on?
Okay, yes. Gerald you'll be able to see him, I believe that's in one of our first season episodes in what we call the select division.
Okay.
Which is something entirely new that we're bringing in. I don't know if you know anything about it, but it's fantastic. It just adds another element to Major League Fishing that enables other people to come into the mix. So originally we had 24, and now we're going to bump that up to 30, and that extra 6, they have to qualify for that, and Gerald was part of that. He's one of our select pros.
So that means that's the way I'm going to slip into this, Shelley?
You know what? You say that, but absolutely. You know, it's a matter
Shelley,
of...
now you're going to have to get a lawyer. I just, if you don't have counsel on retainer, you have really cinched that knot.
You get me on the show. I'll be
I have
gentle.
him actually on the line right now with us.
You better keep him on.
Mike will be the weighmaster. He's already the weighmaster here locally, so he'll be your weighmaster.
Shelley Sanders from Major League Bass Fishing. Okay, I promised one question. I want to know, because you're an East Texas girl, you're old school fishing. Have you ever pulled a mud bug?
Well, yes and no. Yes, I have personally. We used to go catch them all the time when I was a kid.
No. I want to know if you've ever pulled a mud bug. I want to know if you know what that means.
Pulled a mud bug?
Yeah.
Yes, you're referring to the crawdads?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, then you're referring to the catfish.
No. I'm talking about the Fred Arbogast lure, the mud bug.
Oh, no. Oh, I'm so sorry. I was taking you literally. I'm like, of course, yeah.
Wait a minute. Whoa.
I was too, Shelley. You're not the only one.
Yeah, don't ever take this show serious.
Exactly.
Well, no, he went serious on me for a minute. I thought you were talking about a mud bug, a crawdad.
They're called crawfish. Crawfish, not crawdads.
Yeah.
That's Yankees.
We called them crawdaddy.
Yeah, she's over in Florida now. She's lost some of her East Texas.
Honey, that's what we called them when we were kids, crawdaddies.
Really?
Yes, we called them crawdaddies.
That's okay. You're forgiven all the time.
That's East Texas time.
Amen. Hey, Shelley, thank you. Shelley Sanders from Major League Bass Fishing. Girl, we have enjoyed this. Will you do it again?
You bet.
You have an open invitation, Shelley. If you're in the area and you come in, if you walk in these doors, you're going to get to sit down with us and have the best 2 hours of your life.
I bet you don't do it. I bet you won't.
That would be so much fun.
I'm putting money on the fact that you won't.
I will so do it in a minute.
Okay, well, fine. I dare you.
Don't challenge her.
Okay,
dare
it's
you.
on. It is on.
I'm her new agent. Y'all got to go through me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I love it.
Thank you, Shelley.
Thank you, Shelley. Appreciate you.
All right, guys. Y'all take care. I had fun.
All right. That was great.
Okay, we're going from the cream of the crop with Shelley Sanders there. Okay, this is only my opinion. This is not the opinion.
Be careful.
This is not the opinion of the Hooking Up and Tracking Down show, nor of the opinion of 1130 The Tiger. We're going from the cream of the crop, Shelley Sanders, to the bottom of the barrel, Hillary Clinton. Quicker than a cat can lick his butt. Hang on, it's Hooking Up and Tracking Down 1130 The Tiger.
Toledo Fiberglass specializes in fiberglass restoration, offering fiberglass repair on all major brands of ski and bass boats. Al Drew and his staff will get you back on the water where you belong. Everything from metal flake scratches to recarpeting, Toledo Fiberglass can fix it. It's also home of the Gorilla Hull and the headquarters of the Minn Kota Talon Shallow Water Anchor System. So the next time you need fiberglass repairs or restoration, go see Toledo Fiberglass just off the Texas Highway or call 800-554-5452. Some things just stay the same, but not Toledo Town and Tackle. Still the best selection of tackle on the bin. Zoom Dive with Gene LaRue and Sam Tone. Now double the size of the original store, you have twice as much to choose from. With a new deli serving the best hamburgers, pizza, and soft drinks, you'll find something that's sure to fill your belly. They also have a great selection of tees and polo-style shirts. So stop in and treat yourself to the best tackle box on the bin. Toledo Town and Tackle on beautiful Toledo Bend Lake.
Rick Terrell here for Terrell Brothers Furniture in Natchez, where we've got 7-piece living room groups as low as $5.99. You heard right, 7-piece living room groups as low as $5.99. And we've got over 20 groups to choose from. So before you buy living room furniture anywhere, come to Terrell Brothers Furniture, 310 Texas Street in Natchitoches.
Here's your best times to fish, sponsored by Mr. Twister. Starting this Friday, July the 4th, typical summer pattern, early morning, late evening. This Friday, July the 4th, 4:42 in the morning till 7:42, and a late evening bite from 5 o'clock till 8 o'clock. On Saturday, 5:25 a.m. till 8:25 a.m., and then late Saturday evening, 5:45 till 8:45. And then on Sunday, 6:11 a.m. till 9:11, and 6:33 in the evening till 9:33 degree. Also, moon illumination this weekend will be anywhere from 35 to 55%. So go out and catch your mess of fish. This has been your Mr. Twister. Best times to fish. Catch more fish more often.
Hooking up and tracking down is on 1130 The Tiger. This segment presented by Toledo Town and Tackle, Gamakatsu Hooks, and Natchitoches Power Sports, your local North Louisiana power sports dealer. Now back to the boys who have more outdoors knowledge than Daniel Boone and Grizzly Adams combined. Steve, Gary, and Mike.
Thank you for doing those fishing times every week, Brother Steve. There is no bad time to fish. No. I never caught one from the couch. The only person I ever knew that caught one from the couch was Donnie Wilhite when he was alive, and he had the couch out there in his boathouse. That's the only person I ever knew caught a fish from the couch.
That's a pretty good idea.
I went to Caddo Lake yesterday afternoon, got up there about 3:30, and within an hour and a half, I'd caught 5 fish and lost 3. And then it was, and I'm thinking, I'm here too early, it's going to be late. Fish another 2 hours without a bite.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, yeah. I did on Red River on Monday.
You got there at the tail end of the bite.
Yeah, and it gets later. It's going to get good, It got worse.
I got on the water on Red River about 7:45 on Monday morning. I was out there late, got out there late, and caught probably 5 in the first hour.
Yeah.
And from about 10 to about 11:30, no bites. Caught 1 fish from 11:30 to 12. Went in, got me a hamburger, which I put on Facebook.
I saw it.
And
dude, that looked like an incredible hamburger.
Midway Marina, great place. One of the sponsors.
Your meal on the computer. I do not understand it.
Great place to get a burger. Is all I can tell you. One of our sponsors, Midway Marina. Thank you, by the way.
He said on there, it looked like his hamburger was talking to him.
It did. It looked like he wanted to talk. Didn't it? Did you see that?
I did.
It did look like burger wanted to talk to you, and I was like,
wah, 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 wah.
But anyhow,
sounded like Mark Davis in Minnesota.
Went back out after lunch, fished till 4:30, caught probably 4 or 5 more, but the bite got better on up in the late afternoon from about 3:30 to 4:30. I caught.
What time am I meeting you Saturday morning? What time am I meeting you Saturday morning?
Saturday morning. Well, I've got a funeral Saturday, so
dang.
I'm wanting to take you though.
Okay.
I really
Do you realize, McCoy, that I wish we could time it took Graff 3.5 times as long to give his fishing report as it did mine.
Well, I give
I went
detail.
yesterday, I had 5 bites, an hour, and they quit biting.
I give detail.
And then we went to
but I keep
morning,
interrupting.
what he ate.
We had lunch.
Mighty, let's get to the point.
Okay, speaking again to the point, guys, and I wanted your opinions on this. That's why I did this way. This is our.
You came to the right two guys.
Yeah. This is our in the
I never
news.
have an opinion.
This is our in the news segment that we've just started a couple of weeks ago. Sunday hunting.
Yeah.
Okay. There was a lawsuit dismissed, and by the way, real quick, I'm gonna read
my
some of
aunts
this.
wouldn't even let you fish on Sunday.
Hunter Mulligan's dad, he didn't do nothing on Sunday but sit down
you
in
went
the
to
den.
church.
Yeah,
You went to church.
that's it.
You went home. You
Ate
could watch
lunch.
football games.
That's it.
Yeah.
A federal judge on Wednesday dismissed a lawsuit by hunters, a group of hunters that had challenged Pennsylvania's long-standing ban on Sunday hunting. And anyway,
The whole state of Pennsylvania says you can't hunt on Sunday.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
That kind of kills the deer camp mood, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. U.S. Judge
Those
Yvette
Quakers
Kane,
don't have guns anyway.
Yeah, Yvette Kane made a ruling in a lawsuit brought on by the Lancaster County-based hunters united for Sunday hunting against the Pennsylvania Game Commission.
Okay, well, stop right there. So you got a group of hunters that have launched a lawsuit saying, hey, this is an infringement on our rights.
Yeah, Second
we
Amendment.
should be able to hunt on a Sunday.
Exactly.
Okay.
And because there's other forms of hunting you can do.
Oh, you?
Yeah. That's what kind of.
So this is kind of singled out deer hunting.
Yeah. The Sunday law does allow or does include some exemptions. For instance, foxes, coyotes, crows, feral hogs can all be hunted on Sunday. In addition, hunters may hunt on Sunday on non-commercial private property. Violators of the law can lose their hunting licenses. Lawmakers have tried but failed to repeal the Sunday hunting law with no success. Notably, 2011, the House Game and Fish Commission Committee.
Is non-commercial private property would be like if I went down to my Uncle Gary's and was hunting there?
I would guess. I don't know how it's classified in
I can
Pennsylvania.
hunt then.
I would think so.
Okay.
On private property, I guess.
Okay.
But here's my question to you guys. Yay or nay on Sunday hunting, in your opinion, and why or why not would you not want it to
Okay, let's clarify this. Apparently, non-commercial private property means you own your own land and you're not selling hunts. It sounds to me like this was tied into like what we used to have, the blue law.
Exactly.
They don't want
no
you.
liquor sales, yeah.
It's not a commercial. The commercial end of hunting does not take place on Sunday. That's what they're saying.
Right. So, or does commercial extend to paper company land? You know, what if because that land at that point really is commercial, isn't it?
Yeah. I would think so.
I mean, you know, if Willamette owned a big tract of land up there, can they allow hunting on their property?
Well, here's what Pennsylvania Farm Bureau had to say. They stalled the action on the measure. They said Farm Bureau argued that the people should be allowed to preserve 1 day a week to be outside without running into hunters or hearing gunfire. Okay, outdoor recreation
Except those
groups
that are shooting foxes and coyotes and feral hogs and crows and everything else.
What if your state has suppressors, you know, and you want to hunt with suppressor on your gun now, which some states are starting to allow?
Yeah.
Would that eliminate the echo? You know, I don't know. I'm just throwing
I'm still a believer you need to be in church Sunday morning.
I am too. I am too.
First off, I don't believe you've got the right to not run into a hunter or hear a gunshot.
Yeah.
You don't have the right.
If you're in the city limits of Shreveport, odds are you're probably not going to hear it.
No, if you're in the city limits of Shreveport, you are going to hear it.
It's just not going to be hunters.
Yeah.
It's going to be AK-47.
Maybe pointed at you.
Honestly, you know, I think that once you've honored your commitment to God, you know, to be in church Sunday morning, you know, after that. Yeah. And there's going to be times, you know, that I play hooky from church.
I think this is one of the things that ought to stay inside the state and ought to be voted on and decided by the majority.
Yeah, and
that's what it's about.
Has the state put this up for vote?
No, it has not come up for vote.
So some lawmakers decided
Judges are making
randomly.
decisions right now, right? Judges are making the final decision right now.
See, to me, that's what's wrong with America.
Yeah.
That's what's wrong with the White House right now.
Oh, yeah.
Is that we've got one person who can just randomly make decisions for all of us? I disagree completely.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe there ought to be one more exception to that. You know, you can shoot feral hogs, crows, coyotes, stuff like that. Maybe we ought to open season on Hillary Clinton.
Hillary Clinton's next.
Okay. Is it on this particular subject?
Okay, no. This is the front runner for Democratic nomination. President for 2016 told the audience this was her stance on automatic weapons and gun control. This is what Hillary had to say about it.
Hi, my name is Gail Santa Maria. I'm from Maryland. I'm a teacher. My question is about guns. I'm very concerned about the proliferation of guns in America, especially as it pertains to school shootings. Right. Do you think that reinstating the ban on assault weapons and banning high-capacity magazines would do any good?
Yes, I do. I do.
Good.
You know, First of all, I think as a teacher or really any parent, what's been happening with these school shootings should cause everybody to just think hard. We make hard choices and we balance competing values all the time. And I was disappointed that the Congress did not pass universal background checks after the horrors of the shootings at Sandy Hook, and now we've had more in the time since. And I don't think any parent, any person should have to fear about their child going to school or going to college because someone, for whatever reasons, psychological, emotional, political, ideological, whatever it means, could possibly enter that school property with an automatic weapon and murder innocent children, students, teachers. I'm well aware that this is a hot political subject. And again, I will speak out no matter what role I find myself in. But I believe that we need a more thoughtful conversation. We cannot let a minority of people, and that's what it is. It is a minority of people hold a viewpoint that terrorizes the majority of people. And you are about the fifth person in the last weeks, parents, another teacher, just interested citizens who have said something similar to me. So my view is that, yes, we need to thrash this out in the political realm. But the vast majority of Americans, even law-abiding gun owners, want people checks that work. Who want background checks that work, information that is shared immediately, and an awareness that, we're going to have to do a better job protecting the vast majority of our citizens, including our children, from that very, very, very small group that is unfortunately prone to violence, and now with automatic weapons can wreak so much more violence than they ever could have before.
I think that is such a terrible scare tactic to tie gun ownership to the horrific shootings at these schools.
Right.
And there's not a single human being alive who's going to see the positive side of children being shot.
Right. That's the title of the article. Hillary Clinton says gun owners terrorize Americans.
That's
false.
That's the most awful thing that I have ever heard that somebody would do, because there's no one up in joy over the fact that we've lost babies. No. Honestly, I'm still a believer that if I want you dead, I'll figure a way to kill you.
Oh, exactly.
If I want you dead, it might be with my bare hands. I might hit you with a chair.
Yeah. So we're going to ban all chairs? I need a place to sit down.
That's one of those situations where we really need intelligent argument. And for her to, I don't know who she's referring to as the minority. Is she talking about the minority being gun owners?
Yes.
Is she talking about the minority being gun owners who are for the right to own automatic weapons? What does she define as a large capacity clip?
Right.
What is it? 5 rounds?
Exactly.
10 rounds? 30 rounds?
Right.
What's her estimation of what is large capacity? I'm telling you, she's talking so far over her head, which isn't hard for her to do.
No.
But she's talking so far over her head that she can't even argue intelligently.
Over her head would be about her waist, because that's where her head stays most of the time.
Most of it, right there on the backside, right along in there. Yeah.
Well, you better be alert, guys, because she's going to be a serious contender for 2016.
I'm telling you, if you're not,
whether we like it or not.
I don't know how you guys feel, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you're not a member of the NRA, if you're not paying to see to it that lobbyists are out there to combat idiots like this who will use these scare tactics, yes, there needs to be something done about shootings in schools. Yes, there needs to be something done about the violence in America. Is it to remove all the guns? Is it to infringe on any of those rights? No, that's not the answer.
No.
Have you seen the list, the clarification of who these shooters are? Have you seen that list before?
No.
They break down all these school shootings, all these restaurant shootings and stuff. They are not Republican conservatives. They are the Democrat.
Well, here's my question.
They are, every one of them.
Yeah, when they brought up the Sandy Hook.
Well, it's hard to say, some of these young kids that have done
this person asked the question, brought up with Hillary, there were 74 more, what she's talking about. The shootings are school shootings after Sandy Hook. That's a lot of school shootings. If there's 74 more, I never heard of that many more. But anyway, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll wrap this thing up. We'll be right back with more Hooking Up and Tracking Down.
When I go shopping, I want camo, fishing tackle, guns, hunting gear, work clothes.
And when I go shopping, I want home decor, gifts, children's and baby clothes.
Fortunately, we can both get exactly what we need at the same place, Nichols.
All the name brands you can find in the big city without driving to the big city and paying big city prices.
Nichols, keeping folks happy since 1914.
Looking for a place to get away from it all? Look no further than Red River's Midway Marina in St. Maurice. Owners John and Kemp Nelson invite you to stop by for lunch or come in and rent one of several cabins for the weekend. RV hookups and a nice boat ramp that leads to some of the best skiing and fishing on Red River. Fully stocked bait and tackle store with gas pumps on and off the water. So book your next trip online, MidwayMarinaSt. or call 318-646-0097. Hello everybody, Ranger Pro Staffer Steve Graff with the Hooking Up and Tracking Down Show. Folks, there's nothing I love more than my Rhino. I've had 3-wheelers, I've had 4-wheelers, but if you want the best of the best, you need to get you a Rhino 700 from Honda Yamaha Village right here in Natchitoches. My Rhino does more than take me to and from the deer stand. It is a great utility vehicle around your house. You can use it for all kinds of stuff, including yard work. I've got it loaded down right here. But one of the best features of the Rhino, it's got a dump bed right in the back of it. So go see the guys at Honda Yamaha Village of Natchitoches, Chip, Layton, and the gang over there, and let them show you the new Yamaha 700 series from Honda Yamaha Village right here in Natchitoches.
Legendary quality. At Ranger, it's an unparalleled commitment to incredible strength. With the industry's only pull-truded transom, we don't rely on the upper deck to support the transom and motor. It's a difference so strong, we sliced off this rear deck to show its independence from the transom. From total performance to your peace of mind. Cut open the whole story at rangerstrong.com.
Let's go eat at Honda's Steakhouse and Sushi Bar. They have all of our old favorites, or we could get something a little more exotic, like the Hibachi Grill, conveniently located at 814 Kaiser Avenue.
Hello, I'm Troy Umbehagen. We at Natchitoches Nursing and Rehabilitation proudly support and watch TV17's local programming.
This segment of Hooking Up and Tracking Down on 1130 The Tiger is presented by the Gear Grabber Lure Hanger System, Midway Marina and Red River Waterway. Find your next outdoor adventure on the beautiful Red River. One more time, here's Steve Graff, Gary McCoy, and Mike Eckel.
And welcome back to Hooking Up and Tracking Down. Final segment. Steve Graff, Gary McCoy, Mike Eccles here with you for one more round. By the way, folks, Cypress Knee Outdoors. Sometimes you have to return to your roots where it all started. That's exactly what Cypress Knee Outdoors is doing now, as they are going back to their original location at 3J's 4-Way, exit 127 off I-49. John Abraham is expanding 3J's to encompass all of Cypress Knee, and but he doesn't want to move everything back. So right now, he's got a great opportunity. He has slash prices on all of his hunting, all the fishing gear, so you can get a great deal, so he don't have to move it, and they can just start from fresh and restock everything at 3J's 4-Way. So go see John and the gang at Cypress Knee Outdoors, located at the intersection of Highway 6 off I-49, Natchitoches exit, right there next to Burger King. And I promise you, you'll be glad you made the trip down there, because he's got some great deals on guns, bows, fishing tackle, rods, reels, all kind of outdoor gear.
Big week for us this week, whether you knew it or not. We went over our first milestone. Went over 1,000 likes on our Facebook page.
Yeah, we did. I saw that.
Went over 1,000 likes on the Facebook page. We want to make it 2,000 by the end of August. Yeah. Hooking Up and Tracking Down right there on Facebook. Facebook.com/Hooking Up and Tracking Down. Of course, on the web, HUTD. That's Hook Up Track Down, HUTD.net. HUTD.net. Make sure you keep up with us on that, and all kinds of archive stories, any of the shows from the past, segments that you might have wanted to hear again or you missed out on, somebody was telling you about, all right there on the website.
Yep. And we've had a few issues, but Steve and them has gotten all that cranked out now. They've gotten all those kinks worked out. All the shows that you're listening to each and every, if you've missing them, you can go back on there now. A lot of them have been reposted from May and June. So go back on there if there's some you missed. I have had actually people call me and say, hey, I need to listen to the show on the May 19th. Okay, well, go back in there. It's on there. Go listen to it.
Hey, next week on the show, what hunters and fishermen should be doing during the dog days of summer, and 13 kinds of bass fishermen. Which one
y'all
are
will
you?
love this.
Yeah.
This is right up you guys' alley. I'll send y'all a copy of this so y'all can study it.
13 kinds?
And maybe y'all be prepared for the show for a change. And that way.
Yeah. You keep dreaming.
I had to throw that in. That was good.
Hey, let me throw this in. I had a brain fart a while ago, and I couldn't think of who the AOY Angler of the Year for the Cash Splash, and I apologize. It was Brandon Collins and Tandy Harlan won Angler of the Year for the Cash Splash on Cross Lake.
Yeah, Charlotte had to text you, didn't she?
Yes.
That's good.
It came to me in a flash.
Good job, Charlotte. Thank you very much.
They will be fishing free next year for the Thursday night event, the Cash Splash.
Fantastic. Oh, and when's the finals on that?
Sometime in September.
Okay.
September the 26th.
Now, that'll be a day tournament, though.
That will be the last Saturday in September. It'll be a day tournament on Cross Lake. Still be a 3-fish limit. Probably fish till about, 2 o'clock, depending on how hot it is. In the Ram Slam that we started, we shut it off at 1:30. The next one is going to be like July the 13th, and we may shut that off at 1. This time of year, we just don't want to fish that lake.
Amen.
It's getting hot.
Yeah. What you got?
By the way, V&M and Big Bass Marina are putting on a night tournament, 100% payback. Kevin Jean sent this to me. He's with V&M now. Kevin sent this to me. It's a Big Bass Marina right there on Toledo Bend. That's on the Louisiana side, about halfway down on the Louisiana side of the lake. Was that 191?
Yeah. Pendleton Bridge is on 191.
Exactly. So it's just right down there. Be on your right. Beautiful facility.
Pendleton Bridge is on 6.
Highway 6.
Yeah. Excuse me.
I thought they moved it.
No, it's south of Cypress Bend, all that. It's about halfway down the lake. On the right. But anyway, great location. Ken Starks, who is a friend of mine who owns V&M, has actually purchased a Big Bass Marina a couple of years ago, has renovated this place. Nice place to go put a tournament out of. But they're having a night tournament there. Night fishing at the Bend is on right now, guys. It is really hot, and they are tearing them up over there.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us again today. Hooking up and tracking down 11:30 the Tiger.
Final word. This is the 4th of July this Friday, and there will be a lot of boat traffic on our area lakes. Make sure everyone has a life jacket, and make sure you wear it. Every summer, accidents occur on the water, and most of the time, it could have been prevented simply by wearing a life jacket. It is the law that there should be one life jacket for every person on board. Also, don't drink and boat, which is the #1 cause of major boating accidents this time of the year. So, this weekend, stay safe, be alert, and have fun. Happy birthday, America. May God bless until we meet again with more Hooking Up and Tracking Down.
Let's go eat at Hana's Steakhouse and Sushi Bar. They have all of our old favorites, or we could get something a little more exotic, like the Hibachi Grill, conveniently located at 814 Kaiser Avenue.
Did you notice some brands sending out trophies from 2006 at boat shows this year? Really? That's like wearing your high school Letterman jacket to a job interview when you're 30. But if other brands are going to raise the issue of awards, no matter how old they may be, we're happy to join the conversation. When it comes to awards, Sea Ray is in a class all its own. Sea Ray is the most awarded boat brand ever. Bayou Outdoor Supercenter has yours waiting for you. Bayou Outdoor Supercenter is Louisiana's family-owned RV and marine dealer.
Rick Terrell here for Terrell Brothers Furniture in Natchez, where we've got 7-piece living room groups as low as $5.99. You heard right, 7-piece living room groups as low as $5.99. And we've got over 20 groups to choose from. So before you buy living room furniture anywhere, come to Terrell Brothers Furniture, 310 Texas Street in Natchitoches.
We love it.
It's so much fun.
It's exciting.
Esto es vida.
Why do I have to wear a life jacket?
We wear it to be safe.
I've got mine on.
We're teaching our kids about safe boating.
Cogí un pescado así de grande.
We all love this life.
Wear it and love the life. This message brought to you by the National Safe Boating Council.
Welcome to this week's Hooking Up and Tracking Down Tip of the Week. I'm Ranger Boat Pro staffer Steve Graff, and I'd like to show you some tips today for when you hit the bodies of water that the wind conditions are really bad. The big waters like Toledo Bend, Sam Rayburn, They are absolutely unbelievable at times on destroying equipment on a boat on windy days. I'm going to give you a few tips right now to show you how to keep from possibly losing your trolling motor as well as your rods and reels. One of the things I carry in my boat, even though most Minn Kotas and all your Motor Guide trolling motors have good lockdown systems, when you get in heavy water, heavy waves, it's nothing for a big wave to come over the boat, knock the trolling motor up out of its, unlock it, and completely take a trolling motor off the boat. I was in a tournament a month ago, 3 trolling motors were knocked completely off of boats. One thing I do, and I always bring, is an extra bungee cord. I take my bungee cord and I'll wrap it around the head of my trolling motor. Like so. I wrap it 2 times and basically just hook it, the rope to itself. After I've wrapped my trolling motor with my bungee cord, now I'm going to use the pop-up boat tie downs to hook my bungee cord. I simply hook it through the center and it's there. It's not going anywhere. The trolling motor won't leave the boat. It's going to stay right here. It keeps the trolling motor anchored down solid. So that's one of the things that I like to do. And it's just, sometimes it's not necessary, but other times it is. The other thing that's very important, make sure the next time you get ready to head on the water also that your Velcro strap for your trolling motor is in very good shape. You want it to be able to hold the trolling motor head down and lock it sucker down where it will not move, okay? The next thing, one more tip I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna move this out of the way temporarily. Now, also, more rod and reels are lost on rough water. They just pop out of the boat. Ranger makes a rod tie down right here. All you do is clip it in, your rods are safely secured, they're going absolutely nowhere. So make sure when you head on the rough water, make sure you bring a little extra bungee cord, make sure your Velcro strap is in really good shape, and make sure you use your rod tie downs on your boat. That's this week's Hooking Up and Tracking Down tip of the week.
Good morning, this is Sheriff Victor Jones. I need your help. I need your help to help me keep you safe. One of the ongoing problems, you know, technology is good, but one of the problems that we're seeing, an increasing problem, is texting while driving. I encourage all of you to help us to keep you safe by not texting while driving. Thank you.
You've heard the old saying, good things come to those who wait. Well, Natchitoches, the wait is over. John Abraham has just opened the best hunting and fishing store in Natchitoches. Cypress Knee Outdoors, located on Highway 6 west off I-49, has everything a hunter or fisherman could want. Top name brands Zoom, Santone, Pelican, V&M, and the new Uzo baits, as well as hunting brands like Primos, Duck Commander, Hoyt, and Federal. So don't drive to Shreveport Ellick anymore. Go see the guys at Cypress Knee Outdoors or call them at 238-HUNT.
You're watching KNTS Digital 19 in Natchitoches, Louisiana.